Peymon who?
Matahede.
Peymon Latahede. Who is he?
Never paid taxes in 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government.
Hello to my truth and freedom-seeking friends. I am Peymon Motahede, the president of Freedom Law School. I have not filed and paid federal income taxes for over 30 years. IRS never attempted to put me in prison, always been free. And I've been teaching Americans like you to do the same legally and safely. And I got great news for you. You probably did not know that President Donald Trump has right now the legal constitutional authority to free the entire people of the 50 United States of income and payroll taxes. So hang in there. I'm going to show it to you how he can do that, and you'll be very excited to see this, okay? Here it is. This is a sample of what President Donald Trump could put out there, okay? This is not official. This is not IRS's website. But couldn't you dream with me to see what beautiful it would be if Trump were able to announce to American people that they could stop filing and paying and withholding federal income taxes? How much will be free and prosperous once again? The businesses don't have to, do all this rigmarole accounting and tax dodging, minimizing games. They have to play within the gobbledygook internal revenue code, this thick book of garbage jungle as regulations, which are 4 times as big, and court cases about it, which are that much bigger. They have to comply with and follow and pay these worthless accountancy pays and tax attorneys for bad advice. Okay? It costs a lot of money for businesses, which they pass on to you. And you already paying too much. You don't have enough money to take home for your paycheck to survive. Many of you are in debt. 3 out of 5 Americans are in debt to their credit cards and are typically paying over 20% slavery interest rates to the credit card companies and the banks that own them. That can stop once you have your whole paycheck back in your pocket and you decide where that money should go. Not wasted in wars with criminality agencies like FBI and DOJ and CIA, NSA, all these alphabet soup federal agencies which are a concubine of corruption and criminality on the military, funding the pharmaceutical insurance companies to the health and human services lies. Okay, so let's get to how this can happen by Donald Trump if we can reach and educate our presidents, who the last 8 years have been educated about how corrupt and criminal the United States government has become and how it needs to clean house totally, and this could be a major thing for him, would be the income tax and payroll tax being completely taken off the American people's lives. So this announcement can happen if we have our way to be able to educate Donald Trump. Hopefully he'll do something like this, saying that American individuals and employers can stop filing, paying, and withholding federal income taxes. Someday in the future, hopefully through 2030, we put on this, dummy sample to what it could look like. He could say simply, the people of the 50 United States of America have never been liable to file or pay federal income and payroll taxes. And in this notice that he forces the IRS to put on their website by executive order, he can say, employees, you can take this notice to your employer to stop all federal income and payroll taxes being withheld from your paychecks. And that be linked, of course, all this stuff. Employers, you can stop withholding federal income and payroll taxes from your employees paychecks. And for further details, click on the following links below, right, for employees. Here's a link right here. And for details, the employers can now go click on that here as well. So that is something I will show you Donald Trump can do once our message of Freedom Law School reaches Donald Trump's mind. Hang in there. You'll see this is real. I'm not blowing smoke, okay? So let's start with the 1040 form. This is a 1040 U.S. individual income tax return that over 100 million Americans every year file thinking they are U.S. individuals that must pay this income tax on this return confession form, but they don't. They've been deceived. Now look at this. The instructions of the 1040 form at the IRS.gov correctly tells everybody on page 8 this about filing requirements. That these rules apply to all U.S. citizens. That's the key word, U.S. We got to know what U.S. is before we know who are these U.S. citizens who, regardless of where they live and resident aliens, must follow these rules on this 1040 form. Okay? So here we go to find out what the word U.S. means. We're going to go to Congress. That's right. Congress of the United States writes the laws. U.S. House of Representatives officially publishes those laws, okay, at uscode.house.gov. Here it is. The United States Code is a consolidation and codification by subject matter or category of the general and permanent laws of the United States. That's the singular federal government. You notice that the United States is not the 50 states. This is a federal government laws. That government. And it is prepared by the Office of the Law Revision Council of the United States House of Representatives. That's the lawyers of Congress, okay? Here they have all the 54 federal categories or titles of federal laws. Title or category 26 is the Internal Revenue Code right here. That's what I have in my hand on paper. The Internal Revenue Code, the entire 10,000 pages of gobbledygook, tissue thin, small tiny font of confusion deliberately to confuse you. You say, I give up. I'll just pay this accountant, CPA, tax attorney. I trust him because I cannot figure out what the heck this thing means. All right? I'm going to cut through all that. They hit the truth. Definitions at the end of the book, not in the beginning, so that you would not even get that far before you quit and decide to be a slave of the U.S. government. So here we go in Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code that I just showed you on the computer at uscode.house.gov. Everybody knows that Section 1 imposes a tax, right? Nobody questions that. Every accountant, attorney will tell you that's the one that imposes a tax on married individuals and other categories of people. All right, but that doesn't tell us enough about the law. Let's go to the Code of Federal Regulations, okay? This is the United States Treasury official interpretation and applications of federal laws. They make it much more clear for you what the law actually means, okay? So here it is. Part 1.1-1, income tax on individual, okay? Now I'm going to focus on the key parts of this thing, okay? Section 1 of the code imposes an income tax on income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. The other stuff about Section 871B and 877B, I've covered in my other videos, but I'm going to cover that tonight because I want to keep this as short as possible to the point, because it applies, mainly to the citizens and residents of the United States. These other two sections are secondary. All right, now, who are citizens or residents of the United States? Well, let's do a little more investigation. Okay, before we go on, In fact, they say who is a citizen. They say, who is a citizen? Every person born or naturalized in the United States and subject to its jurisdiction is a citizen. Look at this. Born or naturalized in the United States. What United States? Oh, and subject to its jurisdiction. That's a singular government of Washington, D.C., not the 50 states, as you'd be surprised to see in just a minute. So we'll go to Congress one more time again. Section 7701, definitions in the Internal Revenue Code. Here we are about definitions. It defines many things, and it says that when used in this title again, what title? Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, is what they're talking about here. So when used in Internal Revenue Code, federal tax laws, okay, they define all these kind of terms that normally do not need defining, but the lawmakers, Congress, chooses to give them all specific, very clear definitions. Let's go down to United States and state. Okay, the term state shall be construed to include, I don't see any of the 50 states there. Do you see New York there? Texas, Florida? No, none of the 50 states are there. But the District of Columbia is there, which is not even a state. It's just a territory of the federal government. They can include that in this term state? Yes, they can. That's their choice. You can define things any way you want. Now, with that understanding, look at the term United States. When used in a geographical sense, includes only the states, which now is only the District of Columbia. And again, the District of Columbia. DC plus DC. What do we get? Oh, it's still DC. Nothing else in there. Not California, not New York, not Iowa, not Oregon, none of the 50 states, or even any federal territories like Puerto Rico and Guam are not there either. That's right. So that is the United States that they're talking about in a 1040 form. If you're someone from D.C., you're a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C., you must pay the federal income taxes. That's what you see right here in the regulations that we just covered earlier. Here for you. It says, who is a citizen? Every person born or naturalized in the District of Columbia, and subject to its singular governmental jurisdiction of District of Columbia, the federal government, is a citizen. They're talking about the D.C. citizens. Now, I know you're going to say, Peymon, come on. Everybody knows. States and United States refers obviously to all of the 50 states. Come on, Peymon, get out of here. You're full of it. Well, hold your horses. Let's go to U.S. Supreme Court, see what they say, how we should interpret these laws, okay? So here we are. This is the U.S. Supreme Court in case of Stenberg versus Carhart, which decided in year 2000 about definitions and their importance and meanings. Here's what they say in the relevant language. When a statute or federal or law includes an explicit definition like the ones you just saw, we must follow that definition, even if it varies from that term's ordinary meaning. So, state of the United States, ordinary mean, the 50 states, not here, because Congress deliberately only put in there the District of Columbia. And the court furthermore states it is axiomatic, which means self-evident, obvious, that the statutory definition of the term, legal definition of the term, excludes unstated meanings of that term. The 50 states are not stated in definition of the United States. You just saw a minute earlier. Therefore, it's not there. So, duh, obvious, the Supreme Court says. Now, some people say, oh, Peymon, that's not a tax case. You know, tax cases. Show me a tax case that says that. Okay, I'll get you a tax case about this. Here we are. This is Gould versus Gould, a 1917 unanimous 9-0 tax case. That's right. And here is what the holding conclusion of the court is. They say that in the interpretation or understanding of statutes, laws, levying, imposing taxes. So, in understanding laws that impose taxes, it is the established rule, well-known rule, not to extend their provisions of tax laws by implication or implying beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge the operations so as to embrace or include matters not specifically pointed out. If something specific is not there, it is not there, it is not taxed. And Supreme Court concludes, in case of doubt, they, meaning the tax laws, are construed most strongly, not strongly, most strongly against the government's power to tax and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. And they list several court cases from the past that have said this thing. This is such a well-known, basic, as they say, established rule. So now it is abundantly clear to everybody that the term United States applies in tax law only to citizens and residents of the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., not the people of the United States, which is over 99% of you watching this presentation. Okay, let's continue on. So here is, I'm going to give you another example to make this very clear for you in the Internal Revenue Code where the 50 states are included and taxed for this tax, which is subchapter A, tax on petroleum. So, section 4612, it tells us for the purposes of this subchapter, what subchapter? Subchapter A, tax on petroleum or oil. Okay? And then define many things. Right? And after defining those basic things, they define United States. The term United States means look at that, 50 states. Whoa, whoa, whoa! They didn't forget to list the 50 states because they could constitutionally do so, and they did so. And the District of Columbia, bunch of United States territories, all of them, in fact, and they even add continental shelf areas, seaboard of the United States, and even foreign trade zones, like used to be Panama Canal. Wow! You see, so when Congress in the Internal Revenue Code defined the United States did not include the 50 states and any territories of the United States, only District of Columbia, it was on purpose. You, the people of the United States, were never, ever supposed to file and pay any federal income or payroll taxes at all. Now, I'll tell you what, to just show you how easy this is to verify, I'm going to take you through FICA taxes, the so-called Social Security taxes. I'm going to show you how you can do it like me on your computer after watching me how to do it, okay? Here's a definition for FICA Social Security taxes. Ready? Okay, we're going to have a little fun with this, okay? Follow me along if you want to learn how to do this. It is so easy to do. All you got to do is on your computer, type in this, 26 space USC space 3121 space uscode.house.gov and hit enter. Okay, just like me. And the first thing that comes up right there, open that in a new tab. This is from U.S. House of Representatives. There it is. The Internal Code. Okay, and here we are. Subtitle C, Employment Taxes. Chapter 21, Federal Insurance Contributions Act. Subchapter C, General Provisions. Here we are, Section 3021, on wages. Okay, now the key thing here is the term United States. Now, just wait. I'm going to scroll down and down and down and down to find the definition hidden in this very long section. They deliberately do not put these definitions at the top, so you give up looking for and reading it. See, I'm still going, keep on going. We just got to B. Oh, we got to get to E, folks. Okay, we're not there yet. Here we keep going, keep on going like Dory, right? Here we are where we are right now. Okay, we're not there yet. No, are we there yet? Like Donkey says in Shrek, no, we're not there yet. We got to go to E. A C, we just got the C. D, here comes E. Look at that. They have here now, United States and state, for the purpose of this chapter, right? Chapter 21 on FICA, so-called Social Security taxes out of your paycheck. Okay? And look at the term United States. When used in a geographical sense, includes the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and American Samoa. Look at that. They don't include even, not just someone from the 50 states. It does not include anybody from the District of Columbia either. And that's all on purpose. Look at the term state. The term state includes the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and the American Samoa. Whoa. They made all these federal territories states, but they do not mention any of the 50 states. It's all deliberate deception. They hid the truth in front of you in plain sight. Okay, but you didn't go far enough, deep enough to find it. So as you can see, in my videos on this cover this topic, the people of the 50 states are not required by law to pay any federal income or FICA unemployment payroll taxes at all. It's all been a hoax on us. The deep state has done since 1913, when Congress signed, and that sellout crook President Wilson signed. He did three things. The privately owned Federal Reserve Cartel Bank was created, which is not a bank, to give it control of our money to this private group of banksters. They so-called ratified, but did not actually ratify, the 17th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution that took away from states, so they think, the power to appoint their own senators. They put them to vote of the people, which could be deceived, no longer representing the states and state interests, state powers against the federal government in the federal government. And the so-called 16th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which was not properly ratified, but regardless, it did not give Congress any new taxing power whatsoever. Okay, so all of these things that I'm telling you about, you can find more of them on our website, freedomlawschool.org. Go there. The 7 steps to educate you yourself. Follow the law. It's right here. It starts with all these basic things that are covered in here. In these short videos you see, these 5 are all between 5 to 10 minutes long. Cover these issues and more. And below that next 5 is a more detailed, longer videos on this topic. Okay? So, once you understand this, then what we can do is this. You can stop filing and paying income taxes. But we have to take you through some other journeys to further educate you. Okay? The videos are right here. Here's this. On step 1. Okay? Here's more of them on step 1. These 4 videos. You guys got to watch them. And then you go to step Here we go. Step 2. Stop filing a 1040 income tax confession trap form. Stop with the rope around your neck, because that is how the government gets the power to put the rope around your neck. You do it yourself when you sign that form on a penalty of perjury, and you subject yourself to go to prison for up to 9 years in federal prison for simply one signature on that 1040 form that your accountant, CPA, tax attorney deceived you to sign while giving money for tricking you into filling out that form to begin with. Okay, so then you gotta understand IRS is a bunch of bluff, hooey, made up by the major media, okay, the corrupt major media, who for decades made you afraid of the IRS like a Wizard of Oz, and you all a bunch of Dorothy and her friends are afraid of the IRS, which you shouldn't be. Okay, afraid of them. Okay, and they again, you've been brainwashed to be afraid of the IRS by charismatic preachers, IRS, TV, news media. They push your buttons of fear. They tell you to pay your taxes, file early, all these lies to get you to be a slave. You don't need to be afraid of these people at all. You got to realize that the IRS operates on deception and bluff, and they're leaving non-filers alone. Yes, 80 million non-filers are out there, and the 80 million people are not in prison. You got to see it on step 3 for yourself to believe it. And 4th, the myth of the IRS will be busted, okay, once you go to step 4 and realize that you can take courage from our victories, that none of our students since 2001 who came to me clean stopped filing income tax with Freedom Law School first. None of them have gone to prison for federal taxes, nor had their paycheck, bank account levied, or home or business seized by the IRS. Not one. Now, once we get through that, step 5 is the part that's going to relate to Donald Trump again. You don't have to pay tribute to the beast, okay? Okay? Question authority. I've been inviting Americans like you to file income tax by only after you write your Congress members, and only if your congressman can show you the law that requires you to file and pay income taxes. Once they cannot show you the law, you can simply stop because no law exists. They've been bluffing you all along, including the corrupt congressmen who've gone along with the scam, knowing, or maybe ignorantly going along with, letting the federal government make you a slave that you were never meant to be. These petitions on step 5 are free, and I urge you to go and download them, fill them out, send them to all your 3 congressmen, the fillable forms, okay, for free download. Individual income tax petition, employment taxes, self-employment taxes, and 1099 forms, okay? For single or married, they are there for you to use, okay? So now I'm going to, for example, open right now the one for a single person, okay? To just show you. This will relate to Trump, okay? Here we are. This is the one for a single person. You can make, I'm going to zoom it for you. Okay, you can fill in the blank about name your congressman, which we help you on our website, how to do it for free. Okay, and we ask congressmen that they're justified to investigate and stop the unlawful collection of individual income taxes from the American people. So in these petitions, we have the laws explicitly quoted verbatim, and just like my presentation, it makes the connection very clear that the people of the 50 states are not required to file and pay federal income taxes whatsoever. Now, at the end of these petitions, like the first one, we tell the congressman a very bold thing. What do we tell him? Very simple, okay? This is my self-determination of my income tax liability. I declare that I'm a citizen of one of the 50 states. Therefore, not a citizen or resident of the United States as defined in Internal Revenue Code as DC, which makes me a non-resident alien with respect to DC, and therefore I am not liable to pay any federal income taxes. And we tell a congressman that if, by reviewing all these legal authorities, official government legal authorities, They can show that somehow we were wrong about all this. Okay, show me where I'm wrong, and I actually do income taxes. I will gladly pay all taxes due, and will consider such payment to be my fair share. That's it. We're very open about it, right? And we say we'll look forward to their reply. Okay, of course we do want them, once they find out we are right, to stop the deep state, these government renegades, from ripping off the American people. Tell them the Congress member as a whole, stop it. Stop the IRS, DOJ, crooked judges from misapplying income tax to American people who were never meant to be slaves of the federal government. We've done this thousands of times. People download this off our website for free. You ought to do it. Some of our students have done that. Our Restore Freedom Plan members have done that. Okay? If you're interested in that, that's available with 100% guarantee. We can protect you 100% from the IRS. If you want to be part of our plan, okay, you pay something for that, but you'll be completely protected from the IRS. Or do it for free. If you're low income, I urge you, do it for free on your own. You don't need us. Okay? Then leave your non-filers alone anyways. Now, Congressman, not one of them has ever responded to us and been able to refute what we say. Not one. We have on our website some of these congressmen and senators, the letters, which are a bunch of nonsense, and we addressed it to them that you're just plain wrong. You're ignoring the law that's plainly copied and attached to our petitions. Okay? So all they want them to do is to live up by the oath to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Donald Trump to the same oath. So did the members of Congress. So the judges and all executive branch employees of the IRS, FBI, CIA, DOJ, they all did. But unfortunately, they ignore it and violate the Constitution and your rights, which are sworn to uphold where they follow the laws of the federal government. So, all Donald Trump has to do is be the man he has developed into more and more. A man who is aware how corrupt the federal government has become. A man of people he's always been. Stand for the people and the truth and the Constitution. And because I know he believes and takes his oath to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic, seriously, live by it, and he can simply send our petitions to head of the U.S. Treasury, Commissioner of the IRS, head of the IRS, and the heads of both federal Congress, the U.S. Senate, and U.S. House of Representatives, and tell them, look, I understand these petitions may go on to the Congress of the United States to show if they're wrong, that they clearly show the people of the 50 states are not required to follow and pay any federal income or payroll taxes, and no employer is supposed to withhold anything from the paychecks of American people, or no 1099s even be issued to third parties or W-2 or W-4 forms. All that stuff is completely not applicable to the people of the 50 United States. And all of this is clearly based upon U.S. government's official legal websites. Laws passed by Congress and published by Congress, U.S. Treasury regulations, and U.S. Supreme Court, the three highest sources of law. I cannot refute and find any error in this. This is something very major and serious. So, I intend to pause for 90 days and let you show me where these petitions are wrong. If you can show me they're wrong based upon only these three highest sources of law, laws passed by Congress, U.S. Treasury regulations, and U.S. Supreme Court, then I'll leave things the way they are. But unless you can show me that these petitions are wrong, I took an oath to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we've been lied to and robbed for over 100 years since 1913 with this income tax that never is supposed to apply to people of the 50 United States. And I will, by executive order the IRS to put on front page of their website an announcement that they've been lied to, they've been deceived, and they no longer have to do any of this income tax stuff at all as employer or employees. And what I Freedom Law School put here for you is a sample of what President Trump can put on the IRS's website. This is not something he or IRS had written at all. I put this together to give you an example of the importance of if Trump does this thing. This announcement will be all over the news media, all over the internet, and income tax will be over. Payroll taxes will be over. The American people will be free. And this way, he doesn't have to negotiate with the crooked congressman about replacing the income and payroll taxes with tariffs or taxes on foreigners. Now, Congress has to come to the table. If necessary, this issue will go to the U.S. Supreme Court as well, with the support and direction of President Donald Trump, and end slavery of the American people. I believe that President Trump will be the most instrumental and freedom-creating president in America that will usher the great era of freedom and prosperity for America, next only to President Andrew Jackson, who in the 1930s killed the second privately owned central bank of the United States. That we did not have any central bank in America from 1830s till 1913 because President Jackson vetoed the second bank in the United States. And Donald Trump is going to be that kind of a major president. He's going to do huge things for America, expose the corruption, and give America a rebirth. So, what you want to do, my friends, is share this video. Share our website, freedomlawschool.org, okay, with everyone you know. Put all over your social media, okay, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, any place. Share our videos. Tell other people, here is the truth, okay? And if you know Donald Trump, any way you can get this through some other people to Donald Trump, get it out to him. Let Donald Trump know we exist. We try to reach him. We haven't had success yet. We hope we get to Donald Trump with your help. What does he say? He says, fight, fight, fight. That means you must also fight, 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 just like Donald Trump, for our freedoms. On my part, now it is your turn, okay? Let's get the word out after you educate yourself as you drive around, listen to our videos, at work, at lunch, home at dinner, watch our videos, say, wow, I'm awakened. Just like in the movie Matrix. He wakes up, Neo says, I know Kung Fu. And he does. You are Neo. I'm only Morpheus getting you out of this Matrix. Let's get to Trump and educate him and have you, your family, your prosperity, all be free, and have America be a free, great country once again. freedomlawschool.org. Continue now there.